I am going to bring up your next comedian. He brought 2 tables of people for this event. He brought this beautiful woman. It's her birthday. And fucking crazy Uncle Pete. And, he comes all the way from Winona, Minnesota. Right. He was in Little House on the Prairie. Please put your hands together for Andy Kurtzman, everybody.
Hey, thank you guys. Keep it going for Mike. And for my Uncle Pete. It's great to be here. Yeah, I came from Winona. I have a dog. I'm a dog guy. Yeah. I have a little mini golden doodle. Yeah. I took my dog to the dog park the other day. And the dog park can be kind of a weird place. Like, sometimes the dogs are awkward around each other at the dog park, but the people are always awkward around each other. It's like the dogs are running around, playing, interacting, and like, we don't know what to do. Like, I'm not beyond sniffing a couple assholes to break the tension around here. Seems to do the trick. Everyone always asks me the same question at the dog park. They're like, oh, what's your dog's name? Which is really nice, but no one has ever asked me what my name is. Never once. If you were curious, my dog's name is Nesta. Yeah, Nesta is Bob Marley's middle name. So that's my nice roundabout way of letting people know that I smoke weed. You guys couldn't tell? Hi, Grandma. I practice my jokes in front of Nesta all the time. And it's great. I mean, he doesn't react very much, but it's good practice because no matter what your guys' reaction is, it's got to be better than the cold side eye that he gives me. I was taking Nesta for a walk recently, and sometimes this dog will really test how much I love him. Like, I was taking Nesta for a walk, and he was taking a shit. Or at least he was trying to, and he was struggling. And I mean, we've all been there, right? When we were kids, my little brother was in the bathroom, and he was moaning and groaning in there. And my mom asked, she's like, Jack, is everything okay? And he yelled back, he's like, no, I think it's a square one. Guys, a moment to visualize that. But Nesta was doing that thing where the dogs will do the poop squat, and then they just keep walking around that way for a while. And I looked, and there was a string hanging out of his little asshole. So I really weighed out my options at that point, and I grabbed on, I started pulling. And it kept coming. Finally it got a little bit tighter, and all of a sudden it came popping out of there, like a cork out of a wine bottle. Yeah. Of course, Nest is relieved. He takes off running, leaving me standing there hanging onto this dangling piece of dog shit covered stuffed animal I just paid $25 for on Amazon 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I love my dog. I got a series of dog doors in my house so that Nesta can go in and out by himself out to a fenced-in yard I have for him. And it's really nice and really convenient, but I did find a downside. I was getting ready for work last summer, and I walked out into my living room, and Nesta was laying there in the middle of the living room floor, and there was something next to him, and I kind of stopped and did a double take, and there was a half-dead rabbit laying right on my living room rug. Yeah, I know, I was pissed because I ended up having to kill it and throw it in the trash can. I know, I'm gonna miss that dog. I did not really kill my dog. This is a benefit for animals, so he's back alive for this next joke. Some people, you know how some people with their kids nowadays, they'll take like a hands-off kind of parenting approach, let their kids kind of make their own decisions. I do that with Nesta. He's like more of like a free-range doodle. And, you know, I just want him to be like, you know, I'll bring him over to my friend's house, and they'll be like, man, your dog is wild. And I'll be like, I just want him to be free to express himself. No, this time he just happened to express himself all over your living room rug. When I got my dog, I really kind of needed like an emotional support animal, someone to really be there for me. And then I end up with this little paranoid, anxious little dog, and I feel like an emotional support human, to be honest with you. Yeah. But yeah, I do have 2 tables of family and friends here. This is amazing. Thank you guys for coming tonight. My parents are here with me. Yeah, he's groaning. They know something's coming. No. When I was a little kid, and if I would like really make my mom mad, if I'd do something real bad, and I knew she was real pissed at me, I'd go up and I'd say, "I'm sorry, Mom. I love you." And this is what she would say back to me. She would say, "I love you too. I just don't like you very much right now." That's why I'm up here doing this right now. But I'm planning on telling them the same thing when I drop them off at the nursing home. I still love you guys. You're just not that pleasant to be around anymore. Sorry, Mom. Love you. Oh, no, my parents are great. They're a little bit old-fashioned. Like, my parents and my brother and I, we share a joint cell phone account together. And so when it comes time to pay the bill at the end of the month, my brother will send me his share on Venmo, and then I have to go to the bank and take cash out, and I drop it off at my parents. They then take the cash, they drive it and deposit it at the same bank. They go back home and they take this thing called a checkbook, and they write a check out for this cell phone bill. And then this guy comes to pick it up on horseback. It's quite the process. I told him, I'm like, "Mom, Dad, why don't we just set you up with a Venmo account, and I can send you my share, and Jack can do the same, and you can go right on your phone, and you can pay the bill right there." She's like, "No, it's easier this way."
She likes the horse.
So speaking of parents, the Menendez brothers have been in the news a lot lately. You guys, I'm sure you're familiar. If you're not familiar, back in like the late 80s, the Menendez brothers, they murdered their parents, and then they took the inheritance and they went on a spending spree, and they bought Mercedes and front row tickets to the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. But it just had me thinking, if my brother Jack and I, if we took out our parents, we might be able to afford like Geo Metros and front row tickets to the Milwaukee Milkmen, if we're lucky. So you guys are probably pretty silly. Oh.
Look at Tim.
It's great to be here in Milwaukee. One of my favorite bands growing up was the Steve Miller Band. Steve Miller, of course, from right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. "Fly Like an Eagle" was always one of my favorite songs. Yeah, you guys know. In the song "Fly Like an Eagle," Steve Miller sings, "I want to feed the babies who don't have enough to eat, shoe the children with no shoes on their feet, house the people living in the street." Now, when I was a kid and I heard Steve Miller sing, "shoe the children with no shoes on their feet," I always thought he meant like, "shoot! Shoot! Get out of here, you barefoot little fucks." It's like, how's the people living in the street? How do you think they are? Homeless. Oh, Steve Miller was kind of an asshole. Oh. It's when you're doing comedy, it's weird. You don't know where to look and who to look at, So what I try to do is find the attractive girls in the audience and then avoid them at all costs. They make me uncomfortable. So if it seems like I've been staring at you during this set, it just means that you're really ugly. I looked at my family while I was saying that. I didn't want to offend anybody else. I'll leave you with this, and then we'll keep going with the show. But I was doing a comedy show in Rochester recently, and before the show, the host had a camera set up backstage, and he's like, "Hey, I'm doing free headshots for all the comics." So I was like, "All right, I'll take advantage of this." So I got up there, and he said, "Have you done these before?" I said, "Yeah, I know the drill." So I stood there, and I faced the camera, and I got my picture taken. Then I turned to the right, come back to the left. Those are the ones that I had done before. He was really confused when I bent over and started coughing. I looked, and there was a string hanging out of my asshole. Like, not this shit again. All right, thank you guys. I'm Andy Kurtzman. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Your next comedian I'm bringing to the stage, he's a very funny man. He comes all the way from Chicago, came up to give you some thrills tonight. Dan Brennan and everybody, Dan Brennan.
Oh, thank you. Good. Thanks.